Why can't you be ready? Staying with the same theme of the parent being the boss or manager, as in my previous sessions, does any of the following sound familiar to you? Hurry up, put your shoes on, we're going to be late. Stop messing about and get ready for bed. You won't want to get up early tomorrow for school. You have to come with us. Grandma is expecting you. What's happening here is the child takes the ammunition you are providing and uses it against you. In each of these requests, you are exposing your stress and anxiety around completing the task, and your child can use that against you, usually unconsciously, by pulling in the opposite direction. I say unconsciously because although it might appear they are being deliberate in their opposition, especially teenagers, that's not always the case, especially in the case of neurodiversity. As soon as the adult shows anxiety or the sense that they are not coping with this situation, then this can create an anxiety within the child, which is often described by adults as a meltdown. Think of it like being a passenger in a car. If the driver started to show signs of panic, how might that feel? You'd want to be in a position to take control to avoid disaster. And that's what your child is doing when they are not getting ready as per your instruction. The language we use with children is very important, and none more so than when we want them to do as we ask. Giving direct instructions rarely works because it has an element of challenge in it, and even the most compliant of children often can't resist a challenge. We have created a competitive environment in our homes, competing with other siblings, and in our schools, competing with their peers. So don't blame them when they rise to the challenge. In fact, try not to blame anybody, including yourself, for anything, because it seldom helps. So, how do we get our child to accommodate our time restraints? We use magic words. Not please and thank you in this instance, although they work well if added at the end of the request. Try the phrases, when you, let me know when, what would you? Use anything that works for you and your child. What you're doing is moving their brain from focusing on the task, for example, putting shoes on, getting ready for bed, tidying their bedroom, etc., and taking it to the next action, which is less dictatorial and something they would like better. For example, when you're ready to go, let me know and we may have time to go to the park on the way. Or, when you're ready to go, let me know and you may be able to help me put things in the car. Young children usually love being helpful. A teenage example might be, let me know when you've tidied your room and I'll make sure I have enough cash or money in the bank to give you your pocket money. The trick is to move them from the task without showing any stress or anxiety and move them to an outcome that they like better. Again, it's being collaborative rather than authoritative. Try it, play with it. If you get a direct refusal and you can't agree to it because of the circumstances, either letting someone down or child too young to be left alone, then offer a choice if possible. For example, an 8-year-old saying they are not going to Grandma's for lunch as organised. The choice is something like, you can go with me in the car or walk round later with your dad. Use whatever works for your circumstances, and believe me, there are always choices. If your child says, I don't want that, I want to stay here, then the reply is, that's not one of your choices. I'll give you time to think, let me know when you've decided. That's the point at which you become distracted. Often it's best not to walk away straight away, but to say something like, was that my phone? Then move. Or, does anybody know where my car keys are, etc., before moving away. It's important that you don't give the message that you are disinterested by the child's objection, but rather that you have given them the viable choices and are waiting for their decision. In my experience, using the word no creates another opportunity for the child to challenge. Avoid it wherever possible. There are lots of alternatives. For example, can I have an ice cream? If no is your stance on this occasion, then the answer becomes, I'll need to check to see if I have enough money. Or, we are about to have tea maybe. We could have an ice cream another day. Take away the challenge by stating what is happening, but in a non-confrontational way. That is, the answer's still no, but said using less contentious words. When I work with teenagers, I ask them not to ask a direct question if they don't want a direct answer in the negative, in other words, no. For example, can I go to so-and-so's house straight from school becomes I would like to go to so-and-so's house after school. If the answer is no, it's delivered as today is difficult because of whatever. Would tomorrow or later this week work for you? Again, this is a relationship where both people's wishes are important and you are working together. You are in charge, but it's important that it's not a dictatorship. As always, be consistent, and once you've said something, stick with it. Firm, fair and friendly works well with our children and young people. Until next time, be kind to you and your child.